Hey everyone, Mike Vogel here for WashingtonCaps.com, talking to Caps General Manager Brian MacLellan on the occasion of the hiring of Peter Laviolette as the 19th coach in Caps franchise history. And Mac, it was just a little over 3 weeks ago that you sort of laid out what you were looking for in a job description. You noted that the culture had slipped a little bit, that you were looking for someone who could push some buttons of some good players and someone who could put together a team structure. What makes Peter Laviolette that guy?
Yeah, I think he checks a lot of boxes for us, Mike. He's got a lot of experience. He's got a track record of accomplishment. He does a good job motivating players, holding players accountable. I like the structure that his teams play in. Again, he's had success. He's won a cup. He's been in the finals. He does a good job of reestablishing teams' identities. So all those things, I think, factored into him being a great candidate for the situation we're in, and I think the team is a good match for him also as a coach.
How do you feel like the process was this time compared to a couple of years ago in between Barry and Todd, when you sort of had a guy who was a coach in waiting, and this time it's probably a little bit more of a search?
Yeah, I think, last time it was a different circumstance. We played late, we won a cup. Barry made the decision to resign, and, we had to play that hand out. And it was late in the off season, and we had Todd, who was there, that has been a successful assistant coach and had opportunities to be NHL head coach. So we decided to give Todd a opportunity to run the team. This year it's a different circumstance. I think teams underachieved in my mind. We made a decision, the type of coach we wanted. We identified candidates that satisfied those requirements that we thought. And then we basically interviewed them and tried to do as much homework as we could on all three candidates, and ended up picking Peter at the end.
In the process of talking to those other candidates, and I guess I was going to ask you, obviously not looking for identities here, but how many guys, but I guess you just said it's three guys. It was down to three guys. In talking to those other two guys, and even Peter as well, did you gain any more insight into the team and what might have gone wrong over the last year or so?
No, I don't think we gained any insight. I think we had a good feel for what was going on internally. I think our mission was to find a guy that could correct things that we thought were happening with our team. That things that resulted in, or the result we got was for a reason. And so we tried to identify the things that went into that result, and a guy that could possibly fix the stuff that happened. And then we came up with Peter again.
And Peter's got a pretty good track record of success early in every tenure, really right from his first gig in Wheeling more than 20 years ago at the ECHL level. Has had a real big early impact. Is that something that was appealing to you?
Yeah, I think so. I think what was attractive is he's a motivator, I think, first and foremost. He does a good job. I think, we have a veteran or good group of veteran players that need to be pushed a little bit and motivated in certain areas. I think he provides that. He's a veteran guy that's got a track record, again, of doing that with different teams, different franchises, different types of players. When you talk to him, he goes through the different teams he was on and the dynamics that were going on within and on the ice for his teams. So that he's got a broad spectrum of personalities, types of teams, issues that were going on with teams. And I think he could use that to benefit our organization.
And shift gears a little bit now that the coaching change has been made, and you got dates for the draft and you got dates for free agency. What's the atmosphere like now in the hockey ops department, that you've got a little bit of firmness as far as what lies ahead of you, even though we don't actually know the start date of next season quite yet?
Yeah, I think, the amateur guys have had a little extra time here to fine tune the list. I think they've done a really good job. They've been thorough. Obviously there's some things that they normally do, as far as in-person interviews, fitness testing that, they weren't able to accomplish this year. But I think that, they have a good feel for what's available in the draft and, the direction that we want to go. So I think we feel well prepared. And, I think as with everything else, with COVID going on, it's a different way to go about business, a different way of doing things. And I think we've done a good job and they've done a good job of working around the new rules and trying to make everything work.
How would you characterize the ongoing conversations or talks with Alex Ovechkin, who still has a year left on his deal, and then the other UFAs and RFAs, Brendan Dillon, et cetera, those guys whose deals are up?
Yeah, I think conversations have been ongoing with all of them. I think we had a good discussion at the end of the year with Ovi, just to have both parties kind of communicate what they're thinking and, kind of set the table for, what could happen next year as far as keeping him around and, moving forward with a contract with him. The UFAs, we keep in contact with their representatives and just try and get a good feel for what they're trying to accomplish and what the market might be as we lead up to free agency.
I think you've got a little bit shorter of a to-do list this offseason than you've had in some of your previous off seasons here. Given everything else that's been going on over the last 6 months, is that a good situation to find yourself in?
It's. I think you want to make your team better. I think you're always looking for ways, whether the list is short or the list is long. It's you just put the same amount of work in my mind. We're always trying to, tweak it and make it better, trying to evaluate where we're at and try to make good decisions so that, start next year, we have the optimal lineup that we could put on the ice.
Well, that flat cap's going to affect all 31 teams. Do you anticipate that might break a little bit of, what's typically a log jam as far as trying to get deals done in the salary cap environment? Do you think GMs will be a little more creative in finding ways to fix their needs and issues via that route?
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult. I think GMs are looking to be creative, and it's going to be hard to accomplish that creativity. But we'll see how it pans out here. I think there's a lot of uncertainty when you talk to agents, when you talk to GMs about, how everybody is going to accomplish their goals, how everybody's going to, fit their lineup, sign their guys, sign their RFAs, sign the UFAs. I think it's a lot of people trying to figure out the best way, given what's going on with the cap, how to accomplish your goals. So it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out.
Last thing before we let you go, you over the last few weeks have sent Alex Alexiev to the KHL to get some work in and to be playing some hockey. Yesterday, same thing with Axel Janssen-Fjallby. Is that something that we can expect to see, given the uncertain status of the American Hockey League, and if the AHL is able to have a season at some point, would you be able to get those guys back to help populate that roster in Hershey?
Yeah, I think the idea has been development, first of all, to keep our guys playing. There's a lot of uncertainty of what we're going to be able to do at the American League level, even at the junior level. The players that we have placed over in Europe have opportunities to continue to play. And then if we do start up, we'll have the ability to bring them back and play them in the American League or the NHL, whatever we choose.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us today, Mac, and we look forward to seeing you back here in Boston at in the not too distant future.
All right. Thanks for having me, folks. Look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, Mac.